Welcome back. For today's practice, we're going to do this pose called deer pose in yin yoga. And deer pose is extremely good for your digestion. It actually is said to even help symptoms of menopause. And it provides a great way to internally and externally rotate the hips. So for this pose, you're going to need either two blankets, just like this. You're going to fold them in, make it a long square this way. Or if you have a bolster, it works really well. So you want to turn your bolster parallel to your mat or perpendicular to your body. You can even use your second blanket and put it right on top this way. And then you're going to take your top thigh, or the bottom thigh, the one that is closer to the bolster, and put it directly perpendicular to the bolster. So this is going to be, this leg, the bottom leg is going to be externally rotated. The top leg you can either place right on top, just like this, like you're sitting on your hip, or take that leg way back behind you so that the foot is closer to your buttocks. And if this creates any kind of knee issues, make sure that your knees are comfortable in this pose. So you can even bring both knees and stack them on top of each other. If you don't feel any pain in the knees, go ahead and take that top leg back behind you. Initially, just sit up and see that you can sway side to side a little bit and ground both sitting bones down on the floor, and just feel your hips in this pose. So you can even move forward and back a little bit, or move side to side. Just notice your hips. One is externally rotated and the top is internally rotated. And then once you're ready, you're going to place your hands right on either side of your bolster or structure. And as you inhale, lift the top hip up, extend the spine long so that the spine is nice and elongated and your sternum is facing your structure. And then gently begin to walk your hands all the way over so that the torso is able to lie down flat on top of your structure. Then you can bring one side of your face down. And in this way, you're getting a nice twist in the spine. If you'd like to add a twist in the cervical spine or your neck, you can turn your head the other way. But if you turn your head and you feel like that is too much on the neck, just go ahead and keep your neck to this side. And as you come into this position, as we usually do, just notice if you're holding tension in the jaws, if you're holding tension in your shoulders, or even hips or anything, even fingertips. Sometimes I like to just twist my wrists one way, twist my wrist the other way, to make sure that I'm not holding on to any tension. Or even the ankles, you can wiggle your toes, just to really allow yourself to soften into this pose. And when you're done fidgeting, just become still. Find that stillness. And once again, as we usually do, begin to notice your breath. So before changing anything, always become an observer first. Notice your inhalation. Notice your exhalation. Notice how your breath may be different in this pose as a symmetrical pose. This is a very asymmetrical pose, so we're going to do this pose on one side and then we're going to turn around for a another few minutes. So I'd like you to see, I invite you to see how you feel, how your breath flows in this particular pose, in this side. Do you notice it more on one side? Do you perhaps notice more spaciousness? Notice more tension? What is it that your body feels in this pose? Just begin to become really keen on how your body feels. Really embody the pose. You may even begin to notice that the sensations begin to travel, move from point to point as you stay still. At the beginning, you may feel the sensation more in the hips. And as you stay in this pose a little bit longer, you may begin to feel it in other body parts. So that sensation that doesn't stay stagnant, it is constantly moving. And begin to notice that in your own body. Begin to notice how you can be like a vessel when the sensations come and go. And in the same way, the feelings, the emotions come and go. You don't have to hold on to them, or you don't have to reject them. Just become a flexible vessel where you allow the awareness to come and go, the sensations to come and go. And beneath it all, that awareness is like that vessel that holds everything. Not holding on, not rejecting. Your body is open and willing to receive sensations and to release the sensations. And you gently begin to deepen your breath. Inhaling through your nostrils. You'll notice that it may be a little bit more difficult to inhale all the way to the belly. So perhaps to begin with, just inhale to the back of the lungs. Feel and sense the back body expanding with each inhalation. And as you exhale, you feel yourself a little bit more relaxed, feeling the spine longer. So inhale, feel the spine elongate a little bit more. Keep that elongation of the spine. And exhale, see how you can relax a little bit more. Perhaps the chest now begins to drop a little bit closer to your structure. Inhaling deep, feeling the spine getting longer. And exhaling, allow the left side of the breast just begin to melt down a little bit more. At this point, if you'd like to add a little bit more, you can begin to walk the top leg back a little bit farther behind you so that you really begin to feel a beautiful stretch alongside the top leg. Even perhaps there's a little bit in the psoas muscle at the top leg, even the IT band just a little bit. But see that you're not squeezing the glutes. See that the buttocks are still soft. That really everything, your entire body is soft. We'll stay here for 1 minute. Take your awareness back to your breath. Deep inhalation. Long exhalation. Now, you can stay here, practice longer, or if you'd like to move with us, you can place your hands flat on the floor, and then gently begin to, as you press the palms of your hands down, lift the chest up. And keep the neck integrated. So notice if you tend to lift up with your head first, instead begin to lift the chest up and then the head follows. And then very slowly lift yourself back up into the original deer pose as we did. Stack your knees on top of one another. You can move your structure or just simply turn around. So I'm going to move my structure just so that I'm facing the camera up. But you can just move, just twist around to the other side. And again, we come with the bottom leg being perpendicular to the bolster or to your structure. The top knees are either stacked, one on top of another. If you feel no pain whatsoever in the knee, you can go ahead and take that top leg back behind you so that the back foot is closer to your top buttocks. And just sit here for a moment and just sway a little side to side. And you can even sway back and forward, rotating the pelvis forward and back. And as you're ready, come into stillness. And then begin to turn your torso all the way towards your structure. You may have to adjust your legs a little bit so that you can move up a little bit closer to the structure. And placing your hands on either side of your structure, lift the chest open. You see how you can elongate the chest up before you fold? So you're not folding with a rounded back. Instead, you're lifting the chest up and you're folding all the way down the structure with a nice long spine. And once you arrive here, notice if you want to turn your head one way or turn your head the other way. If you turn your head the other way and you notice that's too much, go ahead and stay this way. This is a beautiful pose to practice right here. And again, notice if you're feeling any pain or anything in your knees at all, stack the knees one on top of another. Otherwise, you can take the top knee and press it back behind you. And if you did that, naturally squeeze the glutes, release the glute. In fact, if you want to squeeze it and then release it, so that you know it's 100% released and comfortable. Now placing both hands, both forearms down on the floor, close your eyes. Again, we'll be here for another 2 or 3 minutes. So just allow your body to soften. Notice the difference. Usually we all have one side that is more spacious, one side that is not as spacious as the other. So notice if you feel different on this side. Instead of focusing on where you feel the tension, allow your awareness to just move through the body. So notice the spaciousness as much as you notice the tension. If you feel the pose more in the right hip, try and not focus on the right hip so much, but perhaps find a place in your body that is not feeling the tension, that is more, that you feel more space. And see and notice what that does to your awareness. Begin to deepen your breath once again. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale out through an open mouth. Let it all go. As I said, this pose is great for digestion. Also, if you happen to have gas, this is a great pose. It helps relieve the symptoms for menopause. It's very effective in allowing the hips for flexibility and stability at the same time. Stay here for a couple more moments. This is such a soothing pose. You really feel supported. You really feel that you can rest. You can even turn your palms up if you like to in this pose. Really just soften everything. Soften the forehead, soften the jaws, soften the shoulders, soften the belly. We live in such a culture where everyone wants a six-pack or a hard belly. Really allow the belly to be soft right here. As you inhale, feel and sense the breath traveling down the spine, all the way down to the belly. This feels good. You can stay here as long as you like. If you're ready to move with me, press your hands all the way down flat on the earth, and then gently begin to extend the spine long. Again, notice if your tendency is to lift the head up first. Allow the heart to lift up, and then the head can follow. Coming back into the center, just pause for a moment before you do anything, before you transition to the rest of your day. And notice the stretch, notice the space you've created on the side body and the hips. Close your eyes for a moment with palms comfortably resting on your knees. Thank you for practicing with me today. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.